We're going to get right into the mayoral race right now because mayoral candidate Josh Matlow today pledging more protections for Torontonians who rent. This morning he announced details of a tenant support program, and councillor and candidate Matlow joins us live here in studio. Thanks for being here again this afternoon to talk more about this here. So what exactly are you proposing when it comes to tenant protections in this city?
Well, I'm running for mayor because I believe that this city can be safe and affordable and a great livable place to live, and I believe in its promise, and I want to deliver. But 50% of Torontonians, roughly 50%, are renters. And there are not enough protections to make sure that their homes are safe, affordable, and livable. Never mind the city as a whole. Part of the announcement, I'm going to try to truncate it because there was a lot in there, was to create a fraud squad. In other words, there are only 3 officers at the provincial level that enforce the Residential Tenancies Act. So if you're a victim of rent eviction, if your landlord is falsely, fraudulently using landlord own use, in other words, they're pretending that they or their kid is going to move in, but really they just want you out so they can hike the rents. There needs to be consequences, and we need to have officers who are ready to go in and make sure that you're protected so you aren't kicked out of your home just because the landlord wants to make more money off you. We also want to have maximum temperatures. For example, today it's supposed to be like, what, 30 degrees?
I was thinking about people
right?
in apartments today. Yeah.
So you are literally boiling in your apartment if you can't have your window open, or if your landlord refuses to turn on the AC if they have it, or they haven't turned off the heat. Admittedly, the city has policies that also tell the landlord that you shouldn't be doing that. I've been advocating for years to scrap that. Let's have a maximum temperature and allow for the windows to open with a screen so there's protection, but you can have airflow. I hear from so many people who are literally boiling in their apartments on days like today. That's got to end. And I want to invest $50 million, and I've sourced the cost, to invest in multi-residential housing that we can provide more grants to non-for-profits to be able to buy so we can stabilize the rental market. There's a number of initiatives that are part of this program, including color-coded signs, part of Rent Safe. The idea is dine safe. It's inspired by our program. You know if you're going into a safe restaurant if it's got a green label on the window there. Why should your home be any different? So we already inspect, we often audit multi-residential buildings for large landlords. Why shouldn't you, if you're going to rent, see a sign in the window that tells you that it's green, that you are safe to sign on the bottom line and make that your home? But if they're not dealing with pests, if they're not dealing with bed bugs, if they're not dealing with leaky ceilings, if they're not actually fulfilling their commitment to treat that building like a home rather than just a source of income, then you should be protected. You should have that information. And really candidly, that big corporate landlord should be shamed into getting their act together and protect you and your kids and your loved ones who might be living in that building.
That's an interesting approach.
Now, this builds on my announcement last week of the Public Build Toronto program, where we're going to be using TTC parking lots, Green P parking lots, to finally get on with building affordable rental housing, deeply affordable, RGI, and market then to pay for it. And rather than the profits going into a developer's pocket, it'll actually get renewed back into building more housing, because we're in the midst of an affordable housing crisis and we need to get going now.
You talked about pricing out one part of your plan, but the first part of your plan talked about the province needing, had only sort of 3 sort of regulators going around. Are you sort of implying then that you're going to get the province to hire more people to come and inspect buildings?
Either they do it or they allow us to do it. One way or another, we need, if we can use our bylaw enforcement, we have staff on the city's payroll who would be more than happy to go and enforce the law. If the province gave us the allowance, that's what I'm going to advocate for. And I must add, the go along to get along approach with the province when it comes to these basic protections have not worked. I want to see above the guideline rent increases reformed. I want Doug Ford, the Premier, to return rent control on all new units built in Ontario and here in Toronto. I believe that a mayor's job is to both work with the province to get results when we have common interests for the people of Toronto, but I also believe that we need to take a stand and protect people who don't have those protections today, and that's what I'm going to do as mayor.
All right, Councillor Matlow, that's our time for this afternoon. Do appreciate your time. I know you've got a town hall on this later today, so good luck with that, and we'll talk soon, I'm sure.
I appreciate it.
Okay, appreciate the time.